All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tackling some pretty provocative ideas about human nature. And I'll warn you, some of this stuff is going to challenge just about everything we're taught about the world and our place in it.
Okay, so the source material we're pulling from, it bills itself as a kind operating manual for human beings. And get this, it claims these are truths so powerful that they've been studied in secret for centuries. We're talking kings, presidents, generals, the real players.
So you're probably asking yourself, why wasn't this stuff taught in school? Well, that's a great question. And the argument from this source is, it's hidden on purpose. The idea is that society kind of programs us to believe that if you understand power, you're cynical. If you get strategy, you're manipulative. And if you see reality for what it is, well, you must be evil.
But here's the kicker. This so-called ignorance isn't some virtue. It doesn't protect you at all. No, instead, it just makes you a sitting duck for the people who already know these rules and use them every single day, in the boardroom, in their relationships, in politics, everywhere.
All right, let's dive into the first big idea. And this one goes right for the throat of a belief most of us have about how we make decisions. According to this source, it's not just wrong, it's one of the most dangerous lies we've ever been told.
So look at this comparison. On one side, you have what we're all taught in school, right? That humans are rational. We weigh the pros and cons, use logic. But then, there's the truth this source presents, and it's a total reversal. It says we're basically addicts, just chasing feelings. And when logic and desire go head-to-head, logic gets crushed every time.
And this isn't a new idea. This quote really hammers it home. What does it mean? Well, the argument is that people are swayed by what they see, by appearances, by illusions. They're moved by what feels right, not what actually is right, based on some spreadsheet of facts.
And you see this play out in real life all the time, right? Think about it. You've got that friend in a terrible relationship who just won't listen to your logical advice. Or the coworker who's always broke but can't give up their daily $5 coffee. Or, and this is a classic, the person who says they want someone nice but always ends up with a total jerk. In every single case, logic just, poof, it's gone. Desire takes over. So what's the bottom line here? It's pretty stark. The guy who argues with facts, he's a teacher. But the one who knows how to play on people's feelings, that's the king. True power, true influence, it isn't about being factually correct. It's about making people feel like you're right.
Okay, so if emotion is king, that leads us right into the next hard truth. This one is all about strength versus weakness, and it suggests the world is, well, a lot more primal than we're comfortable admitting. The source basically says if you peel back all the layers of society, all the polite fictions, what are you left with? Predators and prey. The strong who take and the weak who get taken from. And here's the really scary part. Weakness isn't just a lack of defense. Oh no, it's an invitation. It's like blood in the water for predators.
And this famous quote, "It is better to be feared than loved," perfectly explains that dynamic. Why? You might think love is stronger, but the argument here is that fear is way more reliable. Love without strength, that can lead to betrayal. But fear creates a baseline of respect you need just to survive. This is where we have to untangle a huge misconception. We're all told to be nice, but what does nice actually mean in this context? A lot of the time, it's just fear in disguise. Fear of conflict, fear of what people will think. Being good, though, that's totally different. That takes real strength. It means having tough conversations and sticking to your principles, even when it's not popular. And that brings us to a really harsh truth. Niceness without strength is just weakness with a smile. And according to this worldview, weakness is, well, it's repulsive. So the goal shouldn't be to be liked. The goal should be to be respected. Respect comes from strength. Being liked is temporary and fragile. But okay, being strong isn't the whole picture. It's not about just being a brute. To really navigate this game, the source gives us this amazing metaphor for strategy and survival. You have to be both the lion and the fox. Think about it. The lion is all power, all strength, but he's kind of blind. He can get tricked and walk right into a trap. Then you have the fox, super clever, sees all the traps coming, but he's weak. A wolf can just overpower him. You need to be both. You need the fox's cleverness to spot the danger and the lion's strength to crush it when it comes. So this whole idea of being strategic, of being the lion and the fox, leads us to our final big truth. And this one takes aim at something we all hold dear, loyalty.
and it's going to reframe it in a pretty cold, hard way.
The core idea is this. Loyalty that only goes one way isn't noble. It's just weakness. It's not some virtue to keep giving your loyalty to a friend, a partner, or a company that gives you nothing back. In this view, that's not honorable. You're just setting yourself up to be used.
And again, we see this everywhere. That friend who only calls when they need a favor, the company that screams we're a family right before a round of layoffs, or the partner who demands total commitment from you but keeps their own options open. All of these are just examples of exploitation disguised as loyalty. The second it stops benefiting them, that loyalty is gone.
So what's the answer? It's not about being disloyal to everyone. It's about being strategically loyal. Think of it like a contract. You honor your side as long as they honor theirs. Be generous with it. Give it freely. But the second that contract is broken, all bets are off. You have to be ruthless about taking it back from people who don't deserve it.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. Here are the 4 big lessons from this operating manual we've been looking at. First, shape emotions, not facts. That's where real influence is. Second, demand respect, not likes. Strength gets you respect. Third, be both the lion and the fox. You need both cunning and power. And finally, number 4, treat loyalty like a contract. Don't waste it on people who won't return it. Which brings us to the final big question. Now that you've been shown the game, how are you going to play? Because according to this source, for better or worse, you can't unsee it now. The choice is yours.